Can Newcastle really make the Champions League? And is Potter heading for expulsion already? Evening, Jack. How are we?
All good. How are you?
Yes, very well. Thank you. Very well. Off the back of a nice weekend spent in what's the pub we spent and watched the games?
O'Connor's,
yeah.
Yeah.
O'Connor's watching the 5:30 and the 7:45.
Yeah, it was good day of football, wasn't it? Really. Arsenal keep on winning.
Yeah. Head bit sore on Sunday morning, but
that was good. Good night.
Good night, and here we are, episode 18. Christmas cheer, 5 points clear.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this one.
So this podcast will basically be a review, sort of, on the games, a little bit of review of the games of the weekend, but mainly on a review of the teams so far and what they've done this season. Split into the 4 segments, we think: title race, top 4/top 6 race, mid-table mediocrity, and relegation battle. I hope you fans of the certain clubs who've been put in certain segments.
I hope you appreciate
Don't
it.
be too upset, but
yeah, understand where we're coming from.
We'll talk you through our views on that. But right, let's start with the teaser.
Yeah.
James Milner became the 4th player in Premier League history to make 600 appearances in the Premier League. But can you name the current Premier League player who has the highest number of appearances in the league?
Oh,
I saw your smile because
I thought, yeah,
I thought you were going to ask for the other 4.
Yeah. If it was the general, I'd have had a good go. So, from this season, just this season, or
can you name the current Premier League player who has the highest number of Premier League appearances?
Well, it's not James Milner.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, obviously excluding.
Apart from him.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's the next one down.
All right, cool. No worries.
Right, so let's go.
Yeah, let's go straight into it. Top 2.
Title race.
Should we start with City? As they played first?
Yes.
Only for that reason. They're obviously not top.
I was going to say, before we start, the clubs you've included in the title race.
Oh. Man City and Arsenal.
Okay. For the podcast, I put Man City and Arsenal, but it's only really Man City.
Oh, you can't. No, I will say you're firmly in the race now. Definite.
I heard on the Ben Foster podcast, apparently Arsenal are bookies' favourites now.
Really?
And I thought, surely that's not true. I haven't looked, but
yeah, you've still got to play them, haven't you, twice?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, obviously 5 points. 5 points going into Christmas is a very, very positive position for Arsenal, isn't it? Really?
Yes. So like I said, let's start with City and their game at home to Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it busted a lot of coupons out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're using the early kick-off anyway, and you're going for City, probably 1-8 on, 1-10 probably. Just, you're an idiot. But yeah, it would have ruined a lot of people's bets early on.
I could not see that coming though.
No, I mean, I watched it. It was a classic Man City home performance. They dominated the ball. I think they had like 74% possession. The Brentford, obviously a weaker side, go there, just defend and try and counter and see what we can do on the break. And when they get their opportunities, they've got to take them. And yeah, they definitely did at the weekend. But City weren't bad. They weren't as if they were poor. They might have an off day and Haaland wasn't quite firing and some of De Bruyne's passing wasn't quite there and their finishing and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it was just a typical City performance and Brentford were very efficient when they had their chances.
Yeah, Brentford's game plan was played to perfection.
Yeah.
And they arguably could have scored more than 2 goals. Easily a third for Tony at the end.
Yeah.
And Ederson made a few good saves from him. And I thought they just played really, really well. And Thomas Frank at the end of the game said that their plan was basically to stop De Bruyne. So if you stop De Bruyne, you stop the passage to Haaland.
The ball should end up with Haaland. It didn't really, did it? I think
he only had 1 shot all game.
1 shot off target, yellow card, and 21 touches. So.
And 1 triple captaincy from Sam Theobald.
Oh, yeah, that is poor. Triple captain. That's such a panic. That is such a panic. Amid early kickoff. 1 game before the World Cup. That's a disastrous move. Yeah, that's a shocker. But
I thought as soon as Foden equalised, a cracking finish, by the way, and then I thought they'll come into that.
I think that's what everyone had in their mind, didn't they? They'd roll them over, then 3-4-1, it'd be game over. But it wasn't the case, was it? It was not the case.
And Brentford, obviously, they've lovely result for them. It's the first time they've ever beat Man City. I mean, they've kind of played them many times.
No.
But Man City obviously losing that meant Arsenal could go 5 points clear for the win. But I thought Man City were just a bit lethargic. They looked a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they were saving a little bit of in their mentally for the World Cup.
Possibly. It was a weird one because Pep played a very, very strong team, as strong as he'd go. Possibly, I think Diaz was on the bench, but yeah, their lineup, 10 of them were going to the World Cup. Obviously, Haaland's not. So yeah, maybe that played into that. Pep thought, right, I'm going to go as strong as I can, but then the players in the back of their mind knew that next week they're going to the World Cup and didn't fancy. I don't know. It's a bit harsh. Obviously, a Man City, they're a ridiculous side, but yeah, I mean Brentford had absolutely nothing to lose, did they? Tony obviously
had a real point to prove, yeah.
Exactly, and it seemed to work in their favour. I think I've got here that it was their first away win of the season. For Brentford, they're 2 points better off than they were last year at this stage. They were 13th after 15 games last season. Now they're 10th currently. Sorry. So, yeah, I mean they're in a good position. I think Thomas Frank and Brentford will be very, very happy.
Yeah, sitting in 10th, aren't they?
Yeah, 10th right now. Sorry.
Brentford have never lost a Premier League game when scoring first. No, they've only done that 16 times, but it's still an interesting stat. But I think City will be too worried. Because City were 5 points clear behind leaders Liverpool after 14 games in 2020-2021 season, and then they only ended up finishing 17 points ahead of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
they've been there before. They'll do it again.
They scored 40 goals so far this season, the best in the league. They got the best attack. Arguably on their day, they are the best team in the world. So yeah, 5 points, like you said, it's obviously you'd rather be in that position, but City could easily turn it around, can't they?
Do you think? I think they've got 13 players going to the World Cup, haven't they?
16.
16.
The most. I've got a little thing most. Yeah. The most players heading to the World Cup out of all the Prem sides.
Do you think that will make a difference for them?
I'm not sure if it will. Obviously, it depends on injuries and whatnot. But I'd say one thing is their players are the better quality players, so they're going to be playing for the better nations, and they'll probably go much deeper in the competition than most. So maybe that will have an effect. And obviously, there's games straight after Christmas. There's the Carling Cup, League Cup, whether they're still in straight after the World Cup final. So I don't know.
They've got Liverpool as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they got Liverpool. And I think Liverpool. I'll talk about them later, but I think they might have one of the least amount of players going to the World Cup. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, they got Pep Guardiola, Haaland's. That's the massive thing everyone keeps talking about.
Haaland's been put on charge now.
Yeah, Haaland's.
Unless he goes on loan to.
Yeah, I've seen that. Actually, that's some dodgy non-league side, but the cheek of it. But yeah, Haaland's got a few weeks off to rest, recover, whether keep as fit as possible. So
drink some Monster.
Yeah, yeah. So I think they'll be fine. I don't think it will affect City much.
I know you've been joking throughout the previous podcast, should I say, that Arsenal always play at home, but City have played 8 games at home, 6 away, while Arsenal have only played 6 at home and 8 away.
Yes, I've seen that.
And City have only played 2 of the quote-unquote big 6, while Arsenal have played all of them except from City.
Yes.
So I think when people say Arsenal haven't played anyone decent yet, they've been saying that for a while.
Yeah, you can't.
We've now played played 13 teams. No, we haven't played City yet, but
we've only lost once, haven't you? So you can't.
Yeah.
I think
asterisk next.
Yeah, I think. I'd definitely use that in the first sort of 5-6 games, and you just clung on to anything. But I think now you've got to accept it, and I think you're right up there. But your squad we'll get onto it. But yeah, your squad's very thin. So.
Well, like I said, there's only been 14 games. I know everyone's saying, Arsenal top at Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, not really.
It's not quite the same, is it?
We're top at November. What's the date today? November the 15th.
Exactly.
We've got technically another 20, or we've got another week, another month and 10 days. Yeah. And how many games do we normally play up to that stage?
Yeah. Although everyone keeps saying, and rightly so, you are top of Christmas, there is this season, this is probably the last little thing that we could say is this season is different in like exactly what you just said, but you'd have played maybe 4 or 5 more games leading into the Christmas break, so it may have been different anyway, but you're still top. And not
what's that? But in a normal season, I know this season's even more different. At this stage, we should have already played 16 because we had the Everton game called off
and City.
For the Queen, and then we had the Man City game called off because of the Queen's. It was the rollover. We had to fit the game in. We had to fit the European game in. So we should have played 16 games already. Yeah. We only actually played 14. Everton at home, I'd like to think we'd win that, but City at home, you never know.
True.
We could be sitting there 8 points clear.
It could be. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
But no, quickly on Brentford, really, they're just, like Thomas Frank said, it's probably the biggest result in the club's history. He mentioned the playoff final and getting to the Prem, but like you said, little old Brentford against one of the richest clubs in the world. And they're just a bus stop in Hounslow, but yeah, it was an incredible result, really. When nicking it 2-1 is... When you actually, like I said, think about it, that is Brentford Football Club, Man City, all the money in the world.
Yeah, absolute juggernaut.
Pep Guardiola, bought the best striker in the world, got Pep Guardiola in charge, and little old Brentford going and get a result. So
you could see how fired up Tony was, wasn't he, to prove a point?
Yeah, he was. I don't think he was brilliant. He didn't have like a fantastic game, but obviously he scored twice at Man City. So yeah, I'm sure he'd be very.
Do you think he was harsh to be left out of squad?
Yes and no. Like, yes, Tony could have quite easily gone over Wilson, but it's that same. We'll get onto it when we talk about the World Cup at some point. But for me, it's everyone's arguing about the sort of bit part players that probably won't even accumulate a whole 90 minutes. So unless something goes terribly wrong, so like people like Gallagher, Wilson, even Tony himself that didn't make it. Like, yes, he maybe deserved the call up, but would he have played? Probably not. So it's neither here nor there. Like, you're talking about the 22nd, 23rd, 24th player in the squad.
I could be completely wrong, but I can't imagine if England are going to go far in this tournament that Callum Wilson's going to do anything about it.
No.
For example, the only example I can give, England finished second, obviously, in the Euros. And who was their reserve striker? Abraham and... what's his name? Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
I think Calvert-Lewin played maybe like 20 minutes in the first game, didn't play again.
Yeah. Abraham don't even go on, did he?
Did he even get the squad? I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, yes, obviously there's 26 players for a reason. Everyone that goes should deserve to go, and they do. But, yeah, I just think the only thing is that, yes, Tony's incredible at penalties, and if it got to that scenario in a game and you bring him on with like a lot of time to go, don't just bring him on the 119th minute just to take a penalty. That's ridiculous. But I do agree with that. I don't, like, for example, people talk about Ward-Prowse and he's good at set pieces. Like we've spoken about this before.
Saturday,
so he's going to bring him on in the 64th minute because we get a corner, and then I'll take him off. Actually, you're rubbish. Like, that's like that set piece talk is awful. That is just awful. You just haven't got a clue what's going on. But yeah, I mean, Tony, I would have taken Tony over Wilson, but yeah, it is what it is. So
we're just saying Arsenal and Man City, 2 title contenders. Not going to put a third team in them?
Nah.
Not going to put your beloved Spurs in them?
No, God, no, never. Never, ever.
Should we move on to the Gooners?
Yeah, we'll move on.
So after the defeat, it meant Arsenal had the chance to go 5 points clear away at Wolves, which I think we've won there our last 3 years on the trot. Going in, I was a bit... maybe it's just me, my pessimistic Arsenal head on. Oh, we will probably drop points here. Wolves, new manager, no, he wasn't there, but last game, evening kick-off. I don't know, just... And then I saw Adama Traore up front, and I'm still one who thinks he could be good.
He's awful. No. I said to you on Saturday, he's a terrible, terrible footballer. He's so
footballer,
bad.
yes, but he's just a danger man.
No, he's just a track runner. He should be in the Olympics. He should be his own country and run for himself. Like, he's awful. He's absolutely awful. I'm not. Yeah, that's it. It's in the Traore.
I'll still take him at Arsenal.
No, you wouldn't.
Arteta could mould him.
No, he couldn't.
You could mould him.
And the problem is, I bet that Lopetegui's gone in and is looking at him, I'm going to make him a player. No, he's awful. He's god awful. And so are Wolves.
But Wolves played a 5-3-2 with, I think it was Guedes and Traore up front. So I'm listening, I'm thinking, oh my God.
No.
But, like I said, nothing really. First half was a bit Arsenal just training session, really. Just kept the ball, passing it round.
At the weekend, but you dominated the ball throughout the whole game for long periods, and not in the first half particularly. You didn't really have any.
Jesus hit the bar, but that was...
It was offside when it eventually, I think, but he didn't give it. And he scored was offside. But yeah, you didn't actually have any chances where you go, could have scored. Could have done this, that. You dominated the ball. It was a comfortable game, and Wolves tried to counter and had a couple shots and chance, but. Yeah, they just offered nothing going forward, Wolves, and they haven't all season. That's their
8 goals.
Huge issue. Yeah, that's the huge issue. They just
penalty or no penalty?
I'm surprised they sort of brushed over it, because at the time when I watched it, I didn't really notice nothing. But
Probably because of the 6 pints you'd had.
But looking back on it, it was very close to the offside call, and then I think it was a foul. I do think it was a foul, but they just brushed over it. So
yeah, I definitely agree. I think it was a foul, but I don't. There must be some sort of rule there that because they thought it was offside and the flag up, they couldn't do anything about it.
Possibly, yeah.
But I don't know, because the VAR you can then bring that back, but maybe it was already too late.
Yeah,
so that's why they just sort of looked at it and was just like,
nothing really happened. But yeah,
it's not like in the Premier League them to make a bad decision.
No, they're quite
or get tied up in their own rules that they don't really know the rules anyway.
Exactly.
Just make it up and brush under the carpet and hope no one recognises about it.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Wolves is exactly said 8 goals in the league. Only team to not reach double figures in goals scored. Conceded 24. It's not the worst amount of goals, but scoring is obviously where it's going terribly wrong. 2 wins. Their last win was 15th October. Forest at home 1-0. So, yeah, Lopetegui is a well sort of established and renowned coach, but he's got an incredibly tough job, I think.
Yeah, like I said, the main thing about not scoring goals is the teams around them, but a lot of them have a goal scorer who can score a few goals. They signed Diego, 37-year-old. I don't know how old he is.
He's 33, I think. But
38-year-old, however old he is, Diego Costa, to score goals and gets sent off and misses 3 games before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's
not what you need, is it?
Why have you signed him? Go sign a youngster from the Championship who's got a bit between his teeth.
Yes. Bizarre.
But yeah, we'll get on to Wolves a bit later on. But Arsenal then start the second half well, and within 10 minutes, I think it was, they were 1-0 up. Well-worked goal with Martinelli. Picking the ball up in his own half, went on a little dribble, played that ball to Jesus, slipped in Fabio Vieira,
Nice
who came on for Xhaka, because if you heard Arsenal had the shits.
Yeah, what was that? Was Xhaka
excuse my language there.
He looked...
they had Xhaka, Tierney, Lokonga, Zinchenko was ill. I know he played, but he said after the game he was ill. Apparently they'd ate something dodgy before the game, maybe some lasagna.
Maybe. Martin Yole came back and slipped a little lasagna in Xhaka's bed, but
no, apparently they were ill, so that's why he came. He had food poisoning.
It's fair enough. He came off quite early, didn't he? And like you said, no obvious injury, but
but no, slips into Vieira, and then who squared it across, and Odegaard tapped it in to get his 5th goal of the season, and then shortly got his 6th goal of the season. Who's now our Premier League top goal scorer.
Top goal scorer, and also 5 goal involvements in the highest in away games. 4 goals, 1 assist. So
not bad.
He's having a very good start, isn't he? Like Arsenal, really.
He's played 13 games in the Premier League this season. He's only missed the Brentford away game, and he scored 6 goals. It's a goal, just pretty under good. A goal every other game.
That's more than the summer signing of the summer Jesus, I think, isn't it?
It's more than £80 million fucking Richarlison, wasn't it?
80, I don't know 80.
That's no add-ons.
No, he started very well, and he's basically epitomised everything that's happening with Arsenal at the minute in their first.
Like you just meant up Jesus there. Again, he hasn't scored in 10 games, I think, all comps, something like that. He hasn't scored since the North London derby. But again, I cannot fault him whatsoever. Like on Saturday, he was so good again. Yeah. Like he makes that goal. That slide rule pass down to Vieira completely opens up the team.
Yeah, you're the only side to score in every game and concede the fewest, 11. So, yeah, although Jesus isn't your top goal scorer, you're obviously making up for it in other areas. So, at the moment, that's not a massive issue. But if for some reason those goals did start to sort of dry up, and then you look to Jesus and he's still not scoring, then you might have an issue. But as long as it's working absolutely fine.
As long as he keeps putting in performances, and if he's getting 1-2 assists, I couldn't care. Like he actually puts in effort, unlike the previous players we've had, like the Aubameyangs and the Lacazettes do no effort or work off the ball, and if they're not scoring, they're totally ineffective.
Yeah, and if he stays fit and all the rest of it, then there's no issues.
I mean, I did think Arsenal would have a reasonably a better season than last year, but by no place could I think they'd be finishing this first half of the season.
No, I would
first by 5 points.
No one saw it coming, did they? No one. I don't think anyone even. I mean, a few Arsenal probably did, but a lot of the pundits and people that know, they didn't even have Arsenal in their top 4, did they? So, yeah.
But like I said, we're still only 14 games in, not even halfway through the season, so I'm not getting too excited.
No, but it is a good omen, isn't it, to be top at Christmas?
Yes, so I've got some numbers on that. If I can find them. Arsenal have failed to win the last 5 times they've been to win the league. But
Yes.
then also failed to win the league. They just haven't won the league.
Yeah. I mean, the top last time was 07-08, wasn't it? Top at Christmas, so.
Yeah, we were robbed that year though.
Ah.
Eduardo injury.
Yeah.
5 points clear in February. Eduardo broke his leg. Birmingham away, winning 2-1. 90.
Was it Roger Johnson?
95th minute. Yeah, Roger Johnson. Mike Dean ref as usual. And then Gal Clichy gave away a horrific penalty at the 94th minute, 95th minute. 2-2. Gallas off crying.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we won a game for like 6 games. And then we ended up being 5 points. We finished third, 5 points off top.
Yeah.
Should have won it. But got some more numbers on Arsenal quickly. Arsenal, the 8th team to win 12 of their opening 14 games in the Premier League, with every single one going on to win the Premier League.
I don't like that stat. Good stat for you.
Yeah,
but
good. It is a very good stat for us, but
yeah,
I just can't see it, mate. I can't see Man City.
Yeah.
Unless Man City get a bad injury, don't come back from the World Cup or when they come back from the World Cup, their full focus is purely on the Champions League.
That is one thing I might help you, but even then, if City turn it on, they win everything. That's the biggest thing, is that yes, they might be focused on Champions League, but it's still more than good enough to put a run together and go clear of the rest of the league. So yeah, that's the thing. At the moment you've got 2 more wins in City, but you've got to play City twice, and that is they'll be the massive games. Like you'll dominate the rest, I think, but yeah, I think at the moment the 2 City games is the big moment for you. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, luckily you haven't played City either, because
No.
City always roll over and let you tickle their belly for some reason. Every year it's a 6-pointer for Spurs somehow.
Whoever got in charge of it, Nuno, Mourinho, Conte, we always do the business.
Doesn't matter. So that's 6 points there we can gain on them.
Yeah. But no, you got City home and away, West Ham on Boxing Day at home, Newcastle at home, Tottenham away, United at home. Sorry. So
that Tottenham away game
games.
is relatively soon after. It's second. It's the second
yeah,
game of January.
It's a lot sooner than I thought it was, which is probably not a good thing.
But like you mentioned earlier, Odegaard scoring 6 goals. One thing I've been impressed about this year for Arsenal is they've shared the goals around. So Arsenal are one of only 2 teams to have 3 players with 5+ Premier League goals this season. Can you name them 3 players? Odegaard's obviously one of them.
What was that? Sorry, 5.
So 5+ goals this season in the Prem. Arsenal have got 3 players
with 5+.
Yeah.
Martinelli.
Yep.
Arsenal players: Martinelli, Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus. And Liverpool are the only other team with Nunez, Salah, and Firmino. I mean, I think Saka's got 4.
Yeah.
Partey's got 2. Gabriel's got 2.
How many has Bentancur got?
Bentancur. Has
4.
He got more than Viking?
He's got more than Partey.
Has
He's
he?
got 4. Must be a better player.
How many's the Viking got? 2? 2 or 3?
3, I think. Yeah. Our
Yeah.
creative dynamo.
But one final stat on Arsenal I've got here is Arsenal have touched the ball 4,262 times in their own half.
Bloody hell.
And that's the fewest by any team in the Premier League.
You must play long ball then.
Which is... no, it's a real interesting, because obviously I watch Arsenal, so I look at their stats and see what they're doing. When they lose the ball, they're doing what Liverpool and Man City obviously have done in the last 2, and as soon as they lose the ball, win it back as quickly as you can.
Pitch, yeah.
And high up in the pitch as quickly as you can, whether you make a foul or not. And nobody do pull out from the back, but getting the ball from the goalkeeper into the other half, they've been doing it really quickly this season. Yeah, and it helps with Partey being being fit.
Yeah, and Xhaka playing a lot better.
Yeah, and a lot higher up as well. Yeah,
and everyone keeps saying it, but Arteta has essentially just worked under Pep, seen what he's doing, tried to implement that at a new club, and done his own thing. And with the players he's got and what he's got available, and you're top of the league and you're 5 points clear. So. Whatever he's doing is obviously working. And
Arsenal now have, obviously they won 2-0 in the end, have the most clean sheets in the Premier League. 7, Edison. So Ramsdale has 7, followed by Ward, Edison and Pope. Yeah. Which is something I haven't put Arsenal down. Arsenal haven't been a clean sheet team for a while recently. We're just always shipping the odd goal. Arsenal used to always be the classic, both teams to score.
Yeah.
So love that bet.
Yep.
But that back four...
Ramsdale's not been... I think, yeah, you might be about to go and say it, but it's the players in front. Ramsdale's not a bad goalie, but he's not necessarily had to do a lot, is he? You're not coming away from games going, oh, Ramsdale was quality today. Like, he hasn't made unbelievable saves like Wolves at the weekend.
Yeah, the one game would be that Leeds game. Well, I thought he was actually really good.
Yeah, he made some good saves in that day, but like Wolves at the weekend, he might as well not been there. Like, yeah. But no, yeah, you've improved all over the place, and yeah.
I think the only thing he did do was wind up the old Wolves fans.
Yeah, there's a bit back and forth, wasn't there? I think give them some stick.
Well, I think does that sum up the title race pretty well?
Yeah, I think just basically you two are the only two going for it at the moment. Unless Newcastle do something miraculous.
Yeah, well, Newcastle are the next team we'll speak about, and whether they do something mad in January.
Yeah, that is it, really, isn't it? Like we said, we move on to the top four, really. Newcastle sitting third, 30 points after their win against Chelsea at home, wasn't it? 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. And so the teams we've put in the top 4/top 6 race, we've gone for Newcastle, Spurs, United, Liverpool, Brighton, and Chelsea.
Yeah, we'll get on to Brighton, Chelsea, and those sort of teams. But if you divide the league up, that's what we thought was the next little section. So
I've put Newcastle are the biggest surprise for me this year. I thought they'd be good, or better, shall I say, but I didn't think they'd be third. Third after 14 games is some achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you think like if Liverpool, even Chelsea, you just swap them immediately around, Newcastle will be maybe 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe. But yeah, they've been brilliant. They've been absolutely brilliant. They won 5 on a bounce. I think they're unbeaten in 10 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, they've only lost one game all season, and that was to Liverpool in the 90-odd minute. And they had a goal. Newcastle had a goal harshly wrong, ruled out for offside anyway.
And Liverpool's goal was the 97th. Yeah. And it was supposedly 5 minutes added on. So there's been a few games they've had sort of decisions go against them and whatever. But yeah, they are exactly that. Yeah, one loss away to Liverpool. And I think early on in the season, the first few games, they were sort of trying to find their form and figuring out how Eddie Howe wanted them to play and what they thought would be best, and now they're in full flow. They are banging form. And
St James's Park's turning into a bit of a fortress, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about them in a bit, but yeah, they were. It's buzzing. It's absolutely buzzing at the minute.
So Newcastle will be in the. Oh my God!
Hey,
excuse me.
Put your teeth back in.
I am quite ill at the moment, so I was ill at football yesterday and played like someone who was very ill, as the fans of the Log-Laws would have seen. But Newcastle will be in the Premier League top 3 at Christmas for the first time since 2001, when they went off to finish 4th. Does your gut say they'll finish in the top 4?
Yeah, I think top 4.
You think?
If they come back January, like we keep saying, get to January, probably spend some money, maybe bring in 1 or 2 like sort of game changers, if you like. I think they're in a perfect position.
I definitely think they should go back in for Maddison.
Yeah,
someone like that who think he's a Premier League quality player. I know he's going to cost them an arm and a leg, 70-80 million pound, but he would really improve that team. That extra, he's not a quote unquote superstar that's going to disrupt everything. Yeah, I
agree. Maddison's a good player. I also think they're looking even further, even bigger and better than that. And Isaac's not a world beater. We don't know. He might be incredible, but he's obviously injured. But they've got him. They brought in Bruno, didn't they? So, and they brought in their Botman. So their scouting staff and their sort of like management team, Eddie Howe and all that, obviously look further afield than just the Premier League and right. Let's get the best players. So I think they might even bring another, not essentially a Bruno, but a sort of random player no one's really heard of, and he might be brilliant. So I think they're very dangerous, very very dangerous side.
Well, like I said, with the Premier League players they've got at the moment, they've just signed good. They all seem like good characters. Seems such a nice team spirit round there.
Oh yeah.
Like if you did your Dan Burns, your Fabian Schär's, like the perfect one is Trippier. I think we've mentioned it 2 or 3 times on this podcast. What a signing that man's been for them.
Yeah.
For £10 million, I think it was that. He scores goals. He creates goals. He helps keep clean sheet. Yeah. He's the captain. He obviously brings a wealth of experience. And how much do you pay for Emerson Royale?
30, I think.
My God.
Yeah.
Definitely. There you go. Like you think you bought him at maybe 6 months before they bought him. Like you could just take him back. Like I remember there was rumours Arsenal for after Trippier, and I was like, really? Like we're not like getting anyone better, but
But obviously,
he'd be a very good player. That like
he's probably going to start in the World Cup for England, so he obviously must be doing something right. Yeah, they're just good. They are just a very, very good team, and St James Park now going there is even tougher than it was before. So.
And we watched that game at O'Connor's with Jim, and we were saying before the game, does anyone not think the Newcastle aren't going to win this?
Yeah.
Like, that's mad, isn't it? Going into a game.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, Newcastle, what was it? Haven't been top 4 at Christmas since 2001. So in my lifetime, Newcastle haven't been anything of note. They've not been a good side. But yeah, now like you said, going into that game at the weekend, Chelsea were hoping that they'd nick a draw. Like that was as best as they thought. So. And
that's the Chelsea have just spent £500 million, £250 million in the summer. Yeah. Currently still the best team in the world.
Yeah, the world champions.
Finished third in the Premier League last year.
Yeah.
Or it's just a shambles.
Yeah, awful.
Absolute shambles.
Yeah.
Who still play the Love Island model wing back.
Who had a little, I don't know if you saw, but he had in the League Cup against City, he had a little chat with like Grealish and I think Phillips, Foden, and all the England internationals, and Loftus-Cheek's like standing on the side, just absolute prat.
But even their team was so poor against Chelsea. Like, one part of me thought they would threaten. Like they had a little bit. I think Mount had a nice shot with Pope made a save. Got no striker.
No,
Amado Broja is obviously a good young player. He should be nowhere near starting for Chelsea.
At the moment, it's too much for him at Chelsea.
He had a good season last year at Southampton. Maybe got 6 to 8 goals. I think. I don't think he got double figures.
But then he's also in a team that's suffering and playing poorly, so that isn't going to help him. But yeah, they're not. Like we said, they played one good game this year against Tottenham at home, and they should have battered us. Apart from that, they've been very, very average.
Yeah, Aubameyang sat there on the bench all game with a face like thunder. Just nonsense, really. Chelsea have now gone 5 Premier League games without a win. It's the first time since 2012. And none of Chelsea's previous 5 managers have lost 3 consecutive Premier League games, where Potter's managed in his first 8.
Yeah, we'll get on to Chelsea, but they're it's not looking good for Chelsea, is it?
Should we move down the table and move on to Spurs?
Yeah, let's move on to Tottenham.
So that was a topsy-turvy Saturday afternoon at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Just a rollercoaster of a game, wasn't it?
Typical Leeds and typical Tottenham.
It was typical Marsh, really. Yeah. But the first half and
that was like a basketball game.
It was. I think Marsh wanted it to keep going. He wanted overtime. But no, just because I didn't go, but I watched it when it was on Sky Sports when they talk about scoring the game. It's just 2-1 down at half time. Just thinking, like, surely not. Like, this can't be happening again.
Here we go again.
Yeah. And then I think it went 2-2, 3-2 to Leeds, and just thinking, like, what are we doing? Like, so up and down. Why do we keep doing it? Why do we go 1-0 down? Why is it 2-1 and then 3-2? And then we just about scrape through and turn it around at the end. It's just, I'm not saying we should be at home and Leeds at home should win 5-0, comfortable, don't even have to get out of first gear, but bloody hell, like, we keep doing it keeps happening. When are we going to learn? I just don't know what we're trying to achieve at the minute at all.
I mean, I'm saying it here with my Arsenal hat on firmly, but and a few lucky goals in them 4 as well.
Oh yeah,
the first one, it's the most blatant foul it's in a goalkeeper you'd ever see. And then I think 2 of them were deflected, and Ben Davis's one was, and I think one of Bentancur's was. I think it's the first one, but it was just like, what is going on in this game?
Yeah. The goals were, like I said, the first one for us definitely. I don't know why they didn't give that as a foul. But then their goals were just a typical what we've seen all season, just awful.
Question mark Lloris on a couple of them.
Lloris, Dyer, Royale, the midfield, Bentancur, Højbjerg in that same conversation. Just we don't get close to anyone. And fair enough, when you don't get close to them, whether they're Leeds or City, they're going to walk the ball into net, and that's what they did. It's just painful. Like, and then there's a stat that comes out saying Conte's first 38 games with Spurs have produced his highest points tally of any club he's managed ever in the first 38 games. So I just don't know. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like we've lost 38 games. It's very bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, I saw that. I got that stat in. I just thought that is absolutely mad.
And that's the thing. We're going, like we keep saying, going into the Christmas break, into the World Cup. We're 4th. We're finished top of the Champions League group. We're 3 points behind Man City. Like, on the outside looking, surely that isn't terrible. Like, what are you all moaning about?
And what makes that 38 games stat even more impressive is that in Conte's first 38 games for Chelsea, won the league.
Yeah. Yeah, but but even, yes, in that season he did, but he actually got appointed before, so technically his first 38 games he didn't actually do that. But yes, I know what you're saying. Yeah. And I don't know, like, got to hear him on Conte. He's won a Prem, FA Cup with Chelsea, 3 Serie A's with Juventus from 2011 to 2014, again in 2021 with Inter Milan, 2 Italian Cups with Juve, so we keep getting this talk of the winning style and he's got a winning formula and things like that, but at the moment, it is a lot to do with Tottenham and the players, but then again, he had the summer. He's had the summer with this Patrici fella, or Paratici, whatever his name is, to get in these players, and we've given him loads of money, we've given him the summer to do it, or get something in, and what have we got in?
From an outsider looking in, it's your transfer window in January was obviously superb.
Yeah,
Bentancur and Kulusevski.
Yeah.
That probably was the main reason you got top 4.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
that's the reason we won at the weekend.
How many goal and assists did Kulusevski get from January to the end of the season? Or at least 10 combined. He was that player that Arsenal needed, that extra push to get
and
over
at the
line.
moment he is a massive difference that you see. Like, Bentancur's a very good player, but Kulusevski is the game changer for us. Yeah. You saw that at the weekend. He's
compared to your summer transfer windows where Richarlison's got nothing in the Premier League.
Yeah. We brought in Perisic, who's like we said before, but a good professional, but he's a bit older. He's been playing forward, left wing back, left midfield. Like, he's been all over the place. Longlay's come in, just looks like a French Ben Davies. I just don't think he's that good. We still play Ben Davies. We still play Dyer. Dyer, at one stage in his career for Tottenham, was a 4th choice centre back. Isn't any good. Ben Davies, just gentle Ben. Like, he's just not going to win you. He's not going to win you a competition, is he? So yeah, just on Tottenham, like, I just don't think we've got the squad that Conte or whatever this winning style is. Defensively, we're not good enough. Back 5 is horrible. The goalkeeper is not good enough to win us anything. Lloris, yes, he's a World Cup winner, and he's been that classic brilliant servant to the club. But really, is he good enough
right now
for us to think we can go and win the league, to go and win cups? No way, not a chance.
But Spurs have gained more points than any other team from losing positions this season. Got 13 points.
Yeah, I know,
and that shows they keep losing at half time.
Yeah, we obviously. That's what we play. We seem first half we just go out and don't play football, and then Conte thinks, right, second half get into them, and then they'll turn it round, and sooner or later that's just gonna bite us in the back, and it's it's so frustrating.
I do think against the better sides.
Oh, this is a stupid way to play. Stupid.
The example is, I know you were unlucky last week against Liverpool, but you were 2-0 down. 2-0 down to Liverpool, and you got it back to 2-1, and you could have made it get it, but you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
For Leeds, you went down 3 times, and then eventually got it back.
But I said in the Marseille game, they should have won the game. We were 1-0 down, and we brought it back last minute. It's fantastic, but they should have won the game, and that's Marseille. Yeah. So, like you said, Liverpool.
Kolasinac is the reason you're not playing in the Europa League.
Exactly, and you said Liverpool. Yes, they are overall a very good side, but at the moment in current form, they're not the same Liverpool, but they still, like you said, got ahead.
Mo Salah will always put you to the sword.
Liverpool, we're Liverpool 6th in the league and not spoke about within the top 4. So yes, we just cannot carry on. And January, from January when we come back for after the World Cup, we just can't continue the way we've been playing.
My main line here is Spurs getting over the line. ... Just.
I think we'll be right up there. Top 4 has to be what we achieve, and I think we're obviously more than capable of doing it. But yeah, I think, like you said, it's going to be very, very tight. And ultimately, we essentially live in Man City's world currently, but this season is compounded by Arsenal, and that is, we can't avoid that. Like I said, we're 4th. We got through the Champions League top.
Got a nice draw. Yeah,
we got a nice draw. We're doing okay. Yes, we got knocked out of the League Cup, but if Arsenal were doing what they've done previous seasons and sort of hovering around 4th, maybe just above us, or 5th or something, you wouldn't be that fussed. But the fact Arsenal have won 12 out of 14, sitting top, that just makes everything worse. And that makes everything worse for Liverpool, Chelsea, United, all the teams. So, yeah, it makes what's happening at Tottenham and other clubs, it winds you up even more because Arsenal are top.
top 8 points above.
Yeah.
Above Spurs, could have quite easily been. My maths is awful, but 11 if you'd lost that game to Leeds. Leeds were the first team in 12 years, I think it was, since 2012 to be leading 3 times and still lose.
Yeah.
But they're a bit of a shambles at the moment as well.
Yeah, Leeds.
Getting better, just about.
Yeah.
But moving from Spurs to United, that was one of them games on Sunday. I cannot stand United. I don't know if
really?
The listeners
have
got that. And it felt like an absolute sucker punch when they scored. Garnacho scored in the 93rd minute. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Not that, touch wood, not that hopefully should make any difference to Arsenal's season. They are still 26 points and Arsenal are on 37. They're 11 points behind us. But I was like, really?
Yeah,
I could have done without that, but...
Yeah, it was good. It was good for Garnacho, wasn't it? Last minute winner, 2-1.
And United are slowly... quietly improving, I would say.
Yeah, I think we said it previously, but apart from that, obviously the start of the season they had a total mishap and everyone didn't know what was going on. But apart from the City game, when they've absolutely got smashed, which most people that will happen to them, they've been pretty solid, haven't they? They've been okay. Ten Hag's come in and picked a few sort of players that he's played with all the time every week, and they sort of steadied what's going on, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think they were, like I said, from that City game, they played very well. Maybe a couple of draws here and there, until the Villa game, where it was a bit of a surprise. Villa did him over 3-1, and then Fulham, they were lucky to get the win in the end. The first half, they dominated. Eriksen scored and should have scored a second. And
it was a game of first. It was Eriksen's first goal for United, Dan James' first goal for Fulham, and Garnacho's first in the Prem goal.
Dan James very fortunate to miss out on Loser of the Week this week for not celebrating.
Oh yeah, no, look straight.
All the fans killed him all the time. Yeah. Not one United fan ever liked Dan James. And then he did the respect.
Well, he's like Zaha went to United. Just don't even remember Dan James playing for United, sort of thing. Just a random one. But quick on that, Garnacho, youngest overseas player to score for United in a European competition. Obviously Thursday night. Youngest player to record 2 assists in a game for United. Scores his first Prem goal in the 93rd minute. And then is the youngest 90th minute winner in the league since Makeda versus Aston Villa. When Makeda was 17 years and 220 odd days or something. So a very good little month for Garnacho. Alejandro.
Let's talk about him quickly. It might be my unconscious bias or something, but...
Probably.
Am I missing something on him? Is he meant to be this absolute next generation world-beating star of the future that I've just been sleeping on? And I know he's just scored, and now everyone's saying, "Wow, he's about to set the line." Yeah. Is he? I don't know.
I don't know. He's one of them.
Where's he been for the last 14 games? Then?
Yeah. But then I think someone said at the weekend, but Rooney at 16, 17 was
scoring hat-tricks in the
Champions
League.
He was. Wayne Rooney was.
He's the benchmark.
Is that sort of world beater youngster up and coming? Like Garnacho is not at that level, but he's obviously new and exciting, and the time that United are currently in, having something like that to sort of cling on to is probably quite exciting. So maybe it's partially that.
I mean, I was told this time last year that Amad Diallo was meant to be a world beater, and then they signed him for £35 million.
And now he went to Sunderland.
Yeah, he went to Rangers and then went to Sunderland. Now he's at Sunderland. I don't know, maybe I'm just being a bit salty about it all because he scored the winner. But I was like, and everyone's saying on the chat, he looks great, doesn't he? I was like, he played 14 good minutes. Yeah, fair play to the kid.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, and I definitely. I don't know. You need to see a lot more from him, I suppose, and he needs to play a lot more. But he's young, so he's not going to get as many opportunities. But I mean, the month he's had, you can't really argue that's been brilliant. But yes, I'm not totally on the bandwagon of oh my god, it's the next Cristiano Ronaldo.
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, United fans are more in their rights to be excited about it. I thought Saka would be the world's best thing as soon as he took his first touch. I mean, you can see why. But no, I was just sitting there confused.
Sitting there thinking.
Shout out Hyde.
Yeah. Also, Uncle Hyde now as well. Welcome to the club, mate.
I was just sitting there thinking.
He's done it.
I couldn't get over why he's getting such a big the applauders are falling.
Well, hopefully,
But even this stuff about him being a bad boy and like a bad, I was like, where's this stuff come from? Like, how's this persona been built up with this kid?
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of him for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Apparently he's got a bad attitude. He does a Ronaldo celebration.
He's definitely got bad teeth. So hopefully with his Christmas bonus he goes to Turkey, gets them sorted. But yeah, it was a very, very good goal. Good win for United. But yeah, they'll be more than happy with their start to the season, won't they?
Quick yes or no? Will they finish top 4?
No, I don't think top 4.
Top 6?
I think top 6, not top 4. I think Tottenham, Newcastle, even Liverpool will probably finish above United, I reckon.
So Liverpool are, let's have a quick look.
22, 4 behind.
4 points behind United. For me, Liverpool finish above United.
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say so. I think they've, in terms of Liverpool and what they've done recently, they've had a very poor start to their standards.
Yes, definitely.
And we'll get on to them now because obviously we're talking about them. But I think in the new year, that's this little period off. Klopp will give him his little moment to figure out what the bloody hell is going on. Maybe invest in January. They might even, sell someone or a couple of players and move things on.
They've got to buy someone in January in midfield. Personally, I think for me.
Yeah, they won on the weekend, didn't they? 3-1 at home to Southampton. Nunes with a double. Pretty comfortable game.
I still know nothing about this player, Nunes. I don't know whether he's good, rubbish, chaos.
Might see at the World Cup. Could be a good opportunity for him.
Well, they've got Nunes, Suarez, and Cavani, haven't they?
Yeah,
up front.
Uruguay.
Yeah, that could be an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll save that.
He's just a very interesting bloke. I actually really like watching him because I just don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's a strange old one. And quickly on the World Cup, Liverpool, I think, they got 7 players going to the World Cup: Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Fabinho, Konate, Henderson, and Nunes. United got 14 going to the World Cup. City got 16, Tottenham 11, Chelsea 11, Arsenal 9, Newcastle 5. So Liverpool, Newcastle with the least amount going to the World Cup, which is quite interesting. Really, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Who knows? But
I mean, just all I know is Arsenal's 9. Out of them 9, I think only definite starters, maybe 3. Partey, I think even what's his name is the goalkeeper, Matt Turner.
Yeah, but Ramsdale's going. He won't.
Yeah, but exactly. He won't even
play
play a minute. He's third choice goalkeeper.
Yeah. Even Ben White. I mean,
Ben White might play 1 or 2 games. Well, he should play every single game, but whether he does or not is a different question. Partey will definitely start for Ghana. Xhaka will definitely start for Switzerland.
Martinelli won't start.
Whether Saka does depends, give or take. I would start him, but of course I'd start him. That's about it. Jesus, don't think he won't start. And I'm trying to think who else we got going. I think I might have named them all. Tomiyasu, yes, if he's fit,
he'll play.
He'll fit, yeah.
But a little Liverpool, like I said, got them and Newcastle lowest amount of players going, so it could work in their favour. I don't know if you've seen that weird Dubai Cup. Have you seen that?
Oh yes, Arsenal, Lyon,
and Milan,
and AC Milan, and Liverpool, yeah.
Very bizarre. I mean, I don't know. It's obviously just another money maker, but do you even have any interest in that? What is that about?
It's pre-season friendlies. Just as long as I can see Lacazette sweating in the Dubai heat, running around.
He would love it. Get on the shisha.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a couple of pre-season friendlies that Cedric Suarez is going to be playing in.
Yeah, so true.
Maybe some goals for Eddie.
Yeah. Does that count towards his total?
Well, I was going to ask you a question, actually. I'll have to go back to the first episode and watch it. Re-listen to it, shall I say. I will get on to my Eddie counter later on.
We'll get to
I'm going full nerd on you listeners. Did I say he will score more goals than any United player in all competitions? Yes, I think that was. But does that include internationals? Don't think so.
No, just
club.
Club.
That was what I based it on. Just club.
Yeah.
As long as your listeners are okay with that.
Yeah.
And if Rashford wins the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Golden Boot in the World Cup. I'm not having any of that.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. But quickly on Liverpool. So this when they've played 14, 15 games, this sort of stage, In 2014, they were 8th. Since then, they've gone 6th, 3rd, 5th, 2nd, 1st, 3rd after 14, 15 games. And obviously, at the moment, they're 6th. So, like we said, they're sort of in unknown territory, aren't they? At the minute, we don't really know what's going on with Liverpool. I don't think Klopp does. They're so up and down, aren't they? All over the place. But like we said, I think they'll definitely improve in the new year. Probably sneak above United, I reckon, and potentially give us some bother. But yeah, I think Klopp definitely looking to the new year.
I still think they'll sneak into top 4, depending on what they can do in the Champions League. There's still a good team in there. They haven't turned back, but I do think they need an improvement in January in that midfield position, just to freshen it up.
Definitely, yeah.
Just a quick one on the game. Obviously, they won 3-1. Nunez got 2. That was his 4th and 5th Premier League goal of the season. And Andy Robertson equalled Leighton Baines' record of the most Premier League assists by a defender, 53, having played 190 fewer games.
That's pretty good.
Which is quite impressive.
Yeah, but that's also, yes, he's a good player, but he's been part of a dominant side that have been right up there. So yeah, shows how good he is really. Even though I don't like him.
No, he is a bit of a
he's a shithouse.
Yeah, that's the exact word I was looking for.
He's horrible.
And no, I still think Liverpool will get into the top 4. But moving on to a club I don't think will get in the top 4 is Brighton.
Yeah, I mean they're in this conversation. They are 7th and they've started very well, but not to just totally
kill them.
Yeah, to forget about them. I do think they will finish
top half definitely,
but below all those teams we've spoken about already. So I think at the moment, best for them, they'll finish 8th. Yeah, I think Chelsea finish above them. Liverpool, all those teams already above them. So yeah, but yeah, they 2-1 loss at home, wasn't it, to Villa at the weekend.
So unlucky because of, I would say, a top 3 horrendous VAR call. The Digne
penalty,
Digne foul.
How's it not? How's it not a penalty?
Carragher had it was on Sky and he sort of said this penalty, rocked back in his chair waiting for the penalty, and he was like, check complete. Excuse me?
Yeah, just unbelievable.
He goes, what part of that is check complete?
Yeah. When have you checked anything?
He's literally taken a chunk out of his ankle, missed the ball.
If you've not seen it, Digne was about to clear the ball. Solly March just taps the ball away. As he's tapped it away, Digne continues with his effort to clear the ball and just basically whacks March's leg. And like you said, the VR supposedly looked at it, nothing was given, and the game carried on.
That is absolutely shocking. I still couldn't believe it.
That's ridiculous.
And I think that would have made it 2-2 at the time, wouldn't it? Or even 2-1 Brighton. Yeah. But no, they were unlucky in that they had a few chances. But I do think with De Zerbi, he's obviously they're still playing reasonably well, but I think they might just plateau out a little bit.
Yeah, it sort of sums up their form. 2 wins in 5, 2 losses and a draw. So it's exactly what you just said. He's come in. They're playing a similar style, which is good to see, and then they've not totally fallen off the face of the earth. But yes, it's incredibly hard to come in when Potter's done what he was doing, to come in and sort of continue that form and how they were playing. Really,
I mean, they were fantastic against Arsenal in the week in the Carabao Cup, deservedly 3-1 winners, and they played really good. They made 5 or 6 changes, but they played really good football.
Pretty good, weren't they, in the cup,
a couple of youngsters for them that I'd never heard about. That played really, really well. And that is it Mitoma?
Mitoma,
he scored.
Japanese, isn't he?
Yeah,
he'll be at the World Cup.
Yeah, he scored. Lamptey, scored as well. Yeah. I think he's going as well.
I really like.
He's going.
Yeah, he plays for
Ghana now.
Ghana, isn't he?
Yeah. But they just looked a really good footballing team. So, like I said, they're not going to. I don't think they'll finish in the European places, top 6.
No. If they did, that would be incredible.
Maybe no, not 7th, 8th. 7th still gets you Conference League, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they'll. I mean, Chelsea, unless they, I don't know, Chelsea might continue their form and have a stinking new year, but I can't see it. So yeah, I think Brighton 8th place would be a very, very good season. Yeah,
so let's move on to the final one in this European list is Chelsea. Just think Chelsea the fans, unless I said on the episode 1 that I saw them not being their true Chelsea this year because they had a bad summer. I don't think Tuchel was happy.
There was definitely something around the club, like you said, when it felt off.
And it was the American owners coming in wanting to stamp their authority. I think they wanted to sign Ronaldo. They probably still want to sign him now.
He might imagine that. Comes back in January, turns out.
They obviously want to put their American stamp on it and be like, this is our club, not your club anymore. We're not going to do stuff the Roman way anymore.
Yeah.
But I just look at their team and just think it's average, man.
Yeah, they've got a few injuries, but Potter has come in and changed. It seems like every game has changed something within the team.
And it's a sign that he doesn't know his best 11.
Yeah, exactly that. So, yeah, 1-0 loss, wasn't it? We watched it, obviously. 3 in a row they've now lost. The first time they've lost 3 in a row since Mourinho in November 2015, which is his last season in charge. And the Potter has achieved that after 8 games. So, he's not started well, is he? He's sort of no wins in 5, only 2 wins in 8. In all competitions as well for Potter, so yeah, and I think that form just sums his decision making up with the constant changing of sides and formations and tactics. So
I know it sounds outrageous, but how many more games or how many more losses has he got until the pressure really heaps on? Because I'm talking, if it was Arsenal, he could lose 10, and I think it'd be alright. If it was Spurs, I don't know, but Chelsea, we're talking 4 or 5 losses.
He's under pressure now, like
big pressure,
and that's what I want to say is that he's under pressure, and it's something the pressure he's not experienced before. Yes, he's managed at Brighton, and he done really well at the Swedish club, and he's had other jobs and things like that in his life, but the pressure he's experienced right now is from Chelsea, and they demand the best, and they want and need the best and the most success right now. They don't allow a season and a half, 2 seasons.
Betting in, do they?
Yeah, they don't have time for that. This is something he has never experienced before, and I think they'll at least give him to the end of the season, which sounds ridiculous because that's nothing. But I wouldn't be surprised if they get rid of him before that at all.
Yeah, so no wins in 5. Coming out of the winter break, they've got Bournemouth on Boxing Day, and I think they've then got a couple of tough games. We've got Man City coming.
They've got City.
If they don't win for the next 6 or 7 games, they could really be in bother.
Yes, they're
Champions League. They got Dortmund draw. I would imagine they should get through that, but if they don't, round of 16, they've already got knocked out the Carling Cup.
Yeah, I'd say Dortmund's very difficult. I think the way Chelsea are playing is very. I think that's I'm not surprised if they go through, but they have to play very well over 2 legs. But they've failed to beat any of the current top 7. They've drawn twice and lost 3 times in the first 14 games. So like we said, I think they're just Potter is in a position he's never been in before, and it's great he's been given the opportunity. But I think at Chelsea he's. Even with new owners, like you said, you're on limited time there, and you have to perform now, and he's not. So,
and like I said, I keep banging on about it, but they are a team that finished 3rd last year, spent a quarter of £1 billion, and look awful.
Yeah, awful. Like they bought Aubameyang. Why would Aubameyang be a good signing? Arteta got rid of him because he was bad for the club, bad for the team. Moved away. Why would then? Oh, actually, let's get Aubameyang back, and we'll
that's one signing. I just like you said.
Why?
That game against Arsenal proved exactly why why would you then go buy him back?
I understand that maybe a Nottingham Forest or a Southampton getting him, but he's not going to go there for a start anyway. But why are Chelsea looking at Aubameyang?
Chelsea could have got any other striker.
Yeah.
And Tammy Abraham would still play for these.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a strange one. And Potter, like we keep saying, is under massive pressure.
I think January he'll get some funds, but then that also comes with added pressure. If he spends £100 million in January,
and fluffs it,
yeah.
But then, like we're saying Chelsea will spend in January, Liverpool will spend, or we're saying they need to. United will probably want to. Tottenham are talking about buying 2 or 3 players. Newcastle are then going to buy some players. It's just they can't all be, and they're all probably looking at very similar players. So it's going to be a real dogfight up there. So very tough.
Will they get top 4 for you?
Chelsea, no. I don't think
they will.
I said we'll go on to it, but I think I said first episode they would, but no, I don't think they will now.
Who finishes higher, Chelsea or United?
Man United. Yeah.
I'd agree.
Because United were good at Chelsea away, got the draw, and they've got to play that return fixture. But I think United are in a much better position than Chelsea are.
Yeah, I'd agree. With Newcastle finishing above both.
I think so. Yeah. at the moment, I really, for some reason, I really like Newcastle. I won't like them for long when they're in the top four and then they do not ever leave the top four.
Well, that was the thing I saw online. I can't remember where I heard it or heard it online. They said Newcastle is like
everyone likes them.
Everyone's second favourite team at the moment. Everyone's enjoying their little bit of success.
Yeah.
Until they get a bit of success, and then once they get this top four,
it's done. It's over. It's now.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving.
And if Liverpool sort themselves out, then the rest of us might as well give up because Newcastle, like City, they will not leave the top four.
Yeah, but like, as we said before with Liverpool, the only reason Liverpool have been quite successful the last 3, 4, 5 years is because they've been at 100% every single year. Like City are probably, I'd say they've had 80% of that.
Yeah, but they're still, exactly.
Well, and they're 5 points off top. Well, Arsenal are probably on working at 150%.
I think Arteta might breathe now. I think he just took his breath.
This is Arsenal's best ever start to a season.
Yeah.
And they're only 5 points clear.
And like you said earlier, but City got rearranged. You've had a couple games go your way in terms of,
and we've only played 14 games.
Exactly, and but I think like you're saying about Newcastle, and they're identical to City. Once they're in it, that's it. Bye bye.
Yeah.
So I like them now, but I probably won't like them in about a year and a half.
I think that wraps up our title race and top 6 chat nicely. We'll be back with mid-season mediocrity and the relegation battle.
Hello listeners, it's former England and Premier League player Matt Jarvis here. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Remember to support the podcast by sharing with your friends and family and leaving that 5-star review. Now come on you Irons and stay loyal.
So move on to the next few teams, mid-table.
Mid-table mediocrity. So in this little segment, we've selected Brentford, Fulham, Palace, Aston Villa and Leicester City.
Yes.
I
would say that this little group are relegation is a sort of on the back burner, if you like. They're not totally concerned about that.
Out of all these teams, only one team I think could potentially get relegated, and that's Fulham.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
really?
This segment is from 9th till 13th, separated by 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Fulham on 19, Brentford on 19, Palace on 19, Villa on 18, and Leicester on 17.
Yeah, exactly that, and they're just all a much of a muchness, aren't they?
Yeah.
Fulham have lost 2 on the bounce, but obviously both against the Manchester clubs.
Both in 93rd minute, 95th minute,
exactly.
Last minute chances.
And 2 out of 3 previous to that and a draw. They beat Villa at home, Leeds away, drew with Everton. So it just sort of sums them up really. And the other clubs have got a similar sort of track record. Yeah.
And both them games were no Mitrovic.
Mm-hmm.
And what I will say is these 5 teams we've selected, shall I say, they've all got something in common. Maybe not Leicester too much, but the other 4 definitely. And this is what separates them from the relegation battle for me personally, is they all have a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Tony's sitting there on 10 goals, Mitrovic 9 goals. Palace have got Zaha, who will win them a game off the back of whatever the saying is, although he didn't on Saturday, missing the penalty. Villa, Danny Ings, Watkins, they're 2 players between them.
They can turn it on.
Will get you 15 goals a season between them.
Yeah.
That's maybe even 20.
And bear in mind, the bottom sides, one player wouldn't score
10 goals.
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Leicester, they've had Vardy over the years.
Yeah.
Between Maddison, Barnes, and Vardy and Daka, they've got 15
Tielemans
goals.
as well.
Tielemans, they've got goals in them.
Yeah.
And like we said with Wolves, they've got 8 goals. They've got 8 goals this season. Tony and Mitrovic have got more than them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's the hard that people say it's the hardest thing to do, isn't it? Score in a game of football, but obviously the Premier League, it's probably harder than anywhere to do it. So those little
bucks.
Yeah, those sort of little 4 or 5 sides. That's something exactly what the other sides don't have.
But those players are invaluable though. So Tony for Brentford is absolutely invaluable. We see Palace all over the years with Zaha. It's the only reason they're in the Premier League they have been for all these years, because he's their best ever player, and that's when Arsenal tried to get him a few years ago. They were like £80 million. Because that's what he's worth to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I'm sure you're glad you haven't got him. But for that side, he's exactly that. He's priceless. So they're just screaming consistency. Leicester, they were awful at the start of the season, weren't they? Absolutely terrible. But they've sort of trending up. Their form's picked up, and now that is in the new year when you play Leicester. not they're Leicester of old, where they're sort of top 7, 8 club, but yeah, now you're thinking, right, bloody hell, Rodgers has sorted them out now. They're back to what they sort of capable of.
Yeah, I think Leicester, their only loss in their last 5 has been against Man City, 1-0.
Yeah, and that's the thing, they like I said at the start, they conceded a lot of goals at the beginning, but they've sorted that out. They're now, from Fulham down, they've got the best goal difference. They've got a level goal difference. So, yeah, Rodgers, they've stuck with him, but there's a little period, wasn't there, where there was talk and murmurs of maybe replacing him, but yeah, he stayed there and he's picked up, I think. Yeah.
Danny Ward can't stop keeping clean sheets.
No, he's incredible.
Absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
It's turned into an absolute FPL legend.
Yeah, I know. He's been sat on my bench for about 6 weeks, so yes.
But Villa, back-to-back wins for Unai. I think the World Cup has come at a really good time for Villa. Get 2 good wins in against Man United at home and Brighton away. I mean, I think any club in the Premier League would if they came away with them 2 wins, would be very happy.
Yeah, very good start, wasn't it?
He now has a chance to assess his team. I don't think many of their players are going to the World Cup.
No.
Good job, Mings. Good job, Mings didn't get in. I know the goalkeeper is Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez.
He'll start for
Cash.
Yeah,
Poland.
the Polish Cafu. He'll go. Conster's not going. Mings isn't going. Luca Digne shouldn't, but I don't think he's going.
No.
Douglas Luiz won't go.
Buendia won't
Scotland didn't qualify.
Buendia? I wouldn't even know.
I would doubt it.
Where's he from?
Oh, he's Argentina.
Oh, is he Argentinian? Oh.
I know he's been there a few times.
He probably wouldn't start if he is going.
Watkins no, Ings no. Jamaica aren't qualified. And Jacob Ramsey isn't going. So
no, it's probably like you said, 2 wins for Emery. Got a little few weeks here to again further implement what he wants done, get him playing how he wants to do it. So yeah, probably a good little break for Villa.
And I think Villa will finish 10th around that place, around that sort of area.
But then, like I said, when they're appointing him, what else are they looking for? I know they want to go up and obviously yes, they want to climb the table, but really 10th is probably as good as it gets from.
Palace had a slow start to the season, a few disappointing results recently, but for me they're always fun to watch. They've got exciting players.
Yeah,
Elise, Eze, Zaha as a front 3. For me, Palace always are crying out for a half decent striker.
Yeah, and they
anyone who could, if you put Mitrovic or Tony in that team, I think they could be a dark horse for not maybe top 6, 7. Like
they'd improve dramatically, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, and you say dramatically, I really underline dramatically. They would be serious. They'd be a serious team again. Like at the moment, Palace they're tough, Palace, but they're beatable on their day. Like Palace could lose to Wolves tomorrow, but then they could beat Man City at the Etihad. They're that team. You never really know which one you're going to get, but they're always good enough to stay up. You put an Ivan Toney up front for them, behind Wilfried Zaha and Eze and Elise on the right. With the new Decore they've signed, and was it Gay at the back with Anderson, Tyreek Mitchell. If they could sign a new right back, I mean Klein's been a good Premier League servant, but
because Joe Ward still plays well.
I think they're both washed.
They've been
now.
there forever. It feels like
there's rumours that they're going to get Wan-Bissaka back in the summer. Maybe
that'd
on
probably
loan.
be a good signing for them. A bit like Zaha coming back.
Yeah,
like when Wan-Bissaka's gone away, not quite good enough, but in that sort of environment, probably thrives off it. But yeah, they're just one of them teams, aren't they? That is mid-table. We can't really. There's not much to talk about. There's not much to say, good or bad. They are mid-table for a reason. So.
Yeah, and their last 5, won 3, lost 2. Disappointing loss going into Christmas, losing 1-0 to Forest.
Yeah, Zaha
Wilf missing another penalty. He was also lucky to miss out on my lose.
He was,
week.
Jack
was round.
I didn't know who to pick for that, but he was on my list as well.
Jack was round on Saturday watching the game, and we thought let's put a few bets on some goal scorers. So I put Kane, Moore, Zaha, and who was the other one I had?
Do you have a Newcastle? But no.
Was it Joe Linton?
Joe Linton or something like that. But you needed Zaha basically.
And literally within 2 minutes of I literally put it on, Kane and Moore both scored, and then Zaha was up.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And I thought, how am I going to get 3 out of 5, 3 out of 4 already?
They went to the City ground, didn't they? And then they're like, Zaha's on the pen.
Put a penny wide. My God.
Yeah, shocker.
In the bin you get. But they'll always be good enough. And like we said, mid-table, not really much to.
No, it's just as well, isn't it? They're all like here. I'm looking at the table, but they've all won 5 games. Brentford have won 4, but drawn 7, so they've drawn way more than. That's the most draws in the league. So they are just exactly where they should be.
Mm.
There's not much to it.
Should we move on to the old relegation?
Yeah.
Do you want to read out the teams we've included?
So we've gone from obvious after what we've just been talking about, but yeah, Bournemouth down. So Bournemouth, Leeds United, West Ham. I repeat, West Ham are in a relegation battle. Everton, Nottingham Forest, Southampton, Wolves.
So let's go from points wise. Bournemouth sit 14th on 16 points, and Wolves 20th on 10 points. So 6 points between the bottom 4 plus 3, 7. Bottom 7.
Yeah.
I think Bournemouth are really slipping.
Yeah, and
really slipping.
I keep watching stuff and seeing things, and they're going on about Gary Neal and what a great job he's done, and even Bournemouth fans are saying that I don't know they would take 17th tonight, but they're saying he steadied the ship, but in their last 5, lost 4 out of 5. So
Chelsea up next.
Yeah, I don't really get it, and they beat Everton at home, good result. A poor Everton side, but yeah, very good result. And then they've played Southampton, lost. Played West Ham and lost. Obviously Tottenham and lost at home, and they've played Leeds. So all teams that are below them in this relegation battle. But apparently Gary Neal's doing a great job and steadied the ship. So
I mean, if he's asked me 6 weeks ago, I'd say he was doing a good job. But now, is he doing any better than Scott Parker would have done?
No, and that's the question.
That's the
Is it time for Bournemouth to get a manager?
Yes, and not Bielsa.
Yeah, Bielsa. What? Honestly, that as someone said it, but that is so far from Bournemouth. They are total opposite ends of the spectrum. Like Bielsa basically plays basketball, and Bournemouth are nowhere near that. They're absolutely nowhere near. I think their running stats are the lowest in the league. They're just totally opposite to what Bielsa is even thinking about when he wakes up. So yeah, I think that'd be an awful
I would
appointment.
stay away from the Bielsa myth.
Yeah, surely that can't happen. Surely just give, not surely, but
Dyche.
I'd rather give. Yeah, I'd get Dyche in tomorrow, but I'd rather give O'Neill the permanent job than get Bielsa in. But who knows?
So Bournemouth, Leeds, and West Ham all sit on 4 wins apiece. 2 points separate them two teams. All lost at the weekend. Leeds unlucky. I think they played quite well. Obviously, they played well away at Spurs. But back-to-back losses for them now.
Yeah, Leeds have lost 3 out of the last 5, and they've conceded 26. And similar theme with a lot of these sides, but they concede a lot of goals and struggle at the other end.
Leeds actually
Leeds have scored 22. Yeah.
One positive for Leeds
terrible.
is that Somerville was the first Leeds player to score in 4 consecutive Premier League games since 2004 for Leeds, and then Rodrigo matched this shortly after with his volley against Spurs, and it's the first time 2 players have ever done this in the same team in the Premier League history for 2 separate players to score 4 goals consecutively. You think of all the great
teams and players,
strike partnerships, your Yorks and Coles,
or even Son and Kane, like recent times. Yeah.
To score 4 goals in a trot each is quite something that Somerville and Rodrigo are the first ever partnership to do that.
And yes, that is great, and even the weekend, it's so good to watch. But essentially, they've lost the game. They lost 4-3 against Tottenham.
100%.
And you can say, it's brilliant to watch, it's exciting. Well, yeah, but you're just slipping down the table. It's another loss, and you've come away from that game with 0 points. So is it that great? Probably not.
I was absolutely gutted.
What's that? The little clip.
If we could have clipped his
I'll have to get it.
to clip his thing, he was absolutely fuming, Marsh. I mean, rightly so for the first goal. But as a neutral, they are quite fun to watch. Leeds.
They are quite fun, but it's even funnier listening to this man.
I feel like somebody ripped my heart out.
We'll play it once again.
Got it. I feel like somebody ripped my heart out.
He's a hero.
What a hero, Marsh. I'll be sad when he gets sacked.
But that's with Leeds. It's just their back 4, isn't it? It's that you said it at the start, but at the start of the season, they are just championship. They just scream championship players. Ayling, Liam Cooper. Again, they've been that sort of cliche, brilliant servants, but are they good enough for the Premier League? Probably not.
Do you think they're going to stay up?
No, I think they're going down.
The Leeds are slipping.
I reckon, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Leeds will be one of them. I don't know who will come out, but I would say 2 of the current bottom 3, and Leeds.
Leeds when they come back on Boxing Day, Man City. Ow.
Yeah.
West Ham 16th.
Yes.
Lost 4 of their last 5.
West Ham have lost 9 games this season already. That's same as Wolves, same as Southampton.
Same as Wolves, is it?
Both lost
Yeah,
9
wow.
games.
Minus 5 goal difference, 17 goals conceded, yeah.
And the last time West Ham done this in the first 15 games, which is what they've played up till now, they lost 10 of their first 15 in the 76-77 season. So, if you think of the times they've been relegated in recent times, they've obviously lost less than that, and they're currently, like I said, 2 of the bottom 3 have lost 9. West Ham have lost 9, and only won 4 games. So, yeah, they are in a bit of bother, and that's the question I've got: is it a new beginning? Is it time for Moyes to vacate the seat?
But like I've said previously on the podcast before, I do think this is a sort of a transition period for West Ham. Like I said, their new signings haven't really bedded in very well. It will take time. I just think they've been sort of found out a bit this year.
Yeah.
Moyes seems a bit stale.
Yeah, it's that.
Speaking to the Maynard brothers
Yes.
at the weekend, they seem a bit fed up with. They said they don't want him to go, but they
Yeah.
need him to change something.
Big T and Little T had their say, didn't they?
whether it's stop playing Creswell, they were saying, or
Yeah.
switch up the formation, play a 3, sometimes play a 5,
Yeah.
or
I think you mentioned it, or we were talking about it earlier, but with Moyes, and you look at his history and what he's done mainly at Everton, because obviously that was his sort of prime Moyes era, but like at West Ham this summer, he's been given a lot of money and spent a lot of money on so-called better players, but they're obviously not in the league. They're not performing right. They're not doing what Moyes requires. So, does Moyes actually thrive off a lesser, smaller budget with a squad that will run and fight and kick and can do everything they want for Moyes? And maybe likes of Paqueta and Skamaka are nothing. Maybe they are too good for Moyes and West Ham. Who knows?
I didn't actually think about that, but I was thinking in my head, you've actually brought up a really good point there. Moyes thrives on players like your Craig Dawsons,
Unknowns,
your Mikel Antonios, going back to Everton days, your Stephen Pienaars, your Tim Cahills, who are
Fellaini's.
who are cheap players who
Yeah.
they've brought, like Thomas Soucek, for example. No one knew who the hell he was.
No.
People have heard of Paqueta. People have heard of whether their attitudes clash
Yeah.
because he can't get his point across to them.
Yeah.
What he's trying to make, and that's a really good point. That might just be a personality clash.
Yeah. Is it?
Might be a reason that he didn't do very well at Man United.
Yeah.
Because
Because United, he was with bigger egos. They might not
they
say
didn't respect him.
better players, but yeah, bigger on lots more money, getting paid way more. They're buying players for way more, and yeah, maybe this summer Moyes deserves the job at West Ham and shouldn't have been sacked over the summer. But maybe that the way he succeeds is not by spending loads of money and going out and getting these so-called better players to then come back to his club and play that still counter-attacking defensive style that Moyes does well on. So it's, yeah. And the thing is, ultimately, they're not getting results. And I've spoken to a few West Ham fans, and yes, at the minute they're saying they're all very similar noise. It's just abysmal. It is just terrible football at the minute.
And getting knocked out to Blackburn in the cup.
Yeah, and that doesn't help
It
at
doesn't
all.
help,
Doesn't
no.
help his week at all. No.
But on a positive note, I do think they're 2 or 3 wins back to back away from being put in the mid-table mediocrity.
Yeah.
They're in the next round of the Conference League.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get relegated. I think they're too good to go down.
I'll be very surprised if they do. I'll be very happy if they
Over the
do.
moon,
But I'd also be shocked. I'd be very, very shocked if they do. Because it's still, like I just said, they got Paqueta, Skamaka, Declan Rice. They've still got very, very good players. Ben Rama's a good player. Bowen is a good player. But at the minute, maybe they're just one of those sides that this little break will give them a little reset and we'll go again in the new year. It might be good for them. But at the minute, yeah, they're firmly involved.
So going from a club I think too good to go down to one I think is potentially too big to go down, but
Yes.
I think they really could. Their manager
Struggling.
is the favourite to be sacked next.
Is he?
Yeah, Fat Frank.
Frank.
Actually, a quick one before we move over. Moyes 5-1 to be sacked. Lampard 3-1 to be sacked. They're the 2 favourites.
Well,
Next.
yeah, if you look at the clubs below Everton, West Ham, obviously Forest are sticking by Cooper, but Southampton changed their manager. Wolves have changed their manager. Yeah, Bournemouth haven't got a manager, have they? So
No.
yeah, Frank Lampard, it could be. It was quite unsavoury scenes, wasn't it, at the end of the game against Bournemouth? So
Yeah, shirts thrown, things
Yeah,
thrown back. But can you blame them? 2 trips to Bournemouth
yeah,
in
this-
4
yeah.
days. A 4-1 loss and a 3-0 loss. My God.
1 goal, conceded 7.
Any team, I don't care. Even the stat, maybe League 2, I could probably get away with it. But even like League 1, going to Bournemouth and losing 7, shipping
Terrible.
7 goals.
That is
Wow.
true. That is
So
true.
Everton sitting 17th, 15 games, 3 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses, -6 goal difference.
No goals in 3 games as well.
Massive, massive game on Boxing Day. Lopatelli's first game.
Yeah, big.
Wolves.
That is a huge game, in fact.
Wolves win that. They go
Wolves
within
are-
a point of Everton.
Goodison, that'll be raucous.
Yeah.
That'll be quality. That may be on
Great
Sky.
word.
That may be on Sky.
No, they're all on Amazon.
Oh, even better.
I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, that all Boxing Day games are on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's a
And if
huge
Amazon
game.
want to sponsor me for that, shout out.
yeah,
You're
you know
very
I am.
welcome.
Yeah. But yeah, Everton, no goals in 3 games. West Ham, 1 goal in 3. So similar to what we've been saying. Obviously, Wolves just don't understand that you have to score goals to win games. Yeah, just all those sides at the bottom struggling, don't they? Massively.
I mean, I did find a very funny comment that Simon Jordan made on TalkSport. I mean, we are a very inclusive podcast, but he did go, I don't think it helps when your main striker is getting pictured on the LQ magazine, walking around with a handbag.
Yeah, and wearing jackets as trousers and trousers as jackets.
Yeah, just, what are you doing, mate?
Yeah.
What's happened to him?
I
know he's been injured here and there,
I
but
don't know. I think his injuries have taken over. But with Calvert-Lewin, obviously, we're talking about when he's in Everton's team, he just makes them look better. They still might lose the game, but I do. When he came on against us the other week, yes, they were rubbish and we beat them. But I thought, right, Calvert-Lewin's on. That's more of a danger. But yeah, he just hasn't been involved, has he? I don't know what his minutes are in his games, but he feels like he's hardly played.
yeah. So you made a comment last week about the spend they had there. They had no spend under Rafa, and then they spent X
Lampard,
amount with Lampard. In the summer, they've brought in, off the top of my head, Dwight McNeil, a winger from a relegated team that didn't score any goals.
Yep.
They've brought in a Wolves centre half who's actually done all right, to be fair to him. A relegated Burnley defender. Like, what are they really improving on? Like, they're just.
And that's you saying that as well. That's a good point, because a lot of relegated sides or teams that are near the bottom, when teams get relegated, they go and nick their players, thinking, "Oh, he's got experience," or "That's right, he's done it in the Prem." But yeah, they've done it, but they've just been relegated. So you're not bringing in players that are going to suddenly push out a table and compete. Like you just said there, he brought in 2 or 3 players all from teams that are worse than Everton. Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know why.
Sometimes
It winds me up. Yeah,
but
it winds me up when people do it.
they just look piss poor, mate. That's the only way I can say it.
They do, and Lampard definitely. I think the Everton fans are behind him, and they like him because I think he's sort of rebuilt the connection between Everton and the fans and the players and stuff, which is great. But ultimately, you want to stay in the league. You don't want to be fighting around 17th, 18th place. So.
Talking about built, I'm obsessed with watching videos on the stadium.
yeah. The construction of their new stadium. Yeah.
I will have to go to the stadium. I've never been. Have you ever been to Goodison?
No, never.
So this is their penultimate season. So I need to go. I need to go sometime next year.
Yeah. Even
if
it's good though.
Even if I can't get tickets for the Arsenal game, I'll have to go like
something. Yeah.
Palace versus Everton and sit in the home end.
Yeah.
But I think they could get it. The longer they keep Frank, the more chance they've got of getting relegated. They stayed up last year because of Richarlison. And then I don't have Richarlison.
Yeah, and Calvert-Lewin, but Calvert-Lewin's not fit ever, it seems. So, yeah, and they always says, and Lampard comes out when he's fit, when they get players back. But you haven't got these players back, and you're losing games. Like you said, you've got beat by Bournemouth twice in a week. I
mean, I don't mean to be horrible, but they're all being what's the word? Singing Iwobi's praises. If Alexander Iwobi has been your best player of the season, if that's the answer, then what the hell's the question? He's an absolute bog standard player who can't hit a barn door.
I'm sure in a team surrounded by better players probably doesn't look out of place, but
It won't great Arsenal.
No, but Everton need so much more than that, don't they? They just need so much more than that.
Yeah. Should we move on to the bottom three?
Yeah.
Forest, Southampton, and Wolves. So Forest, a really important home win against Palace at the weekend.
Yeah, I'd say just quickly on Forest. Their last 5, they've done okay. 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. That is sort of just below sort of mid-table form,
And a cup
isn't
win.
it? Yeah, of course. I'd like to forget about that one. But the recent form, they've done okay. It looks all right. They're fighting. They've moved up the table. I know they're still bottom 3, but yeah, I think Forest just need to keep battling basically and just make everything a scrap and just see where they end up. If they finish 17th, they'll be over the moon, wouldn't they?
Morgan Gibbs-White is really starting to put his mark on there now, scoring a few goals.
And Lingard looks all right. He didn't score. I don't think he scored or assisted or whatever, but against us and the game at the weekend, he looked a bit more lively.
He scored against you, didn't he?
Did he? Oh,
Yeah,
of course
did the
he
gritty.
did. A little. Oh yeah. So I totally forgot about that game. So
that was his first goal for Forest.
yeah.
But when you signed Serge Aurier,
Yeah.
Is there any surprise that you can see the most goals in the Premier League? 30 they sit on.
Yeah.
Minus 19 goal difference, the worst in the league.
Mm.
That's something they're going to have to improve. They're going to have to do something about in January. Sign, I don't know.
They need a centre half. They
signed Willy Bolly, I think, but I don't think he's even played for them.
It's like Leeds really, but the back.
Steve Cook, isn't it?
Yeah, Steve Cook plays Worrell and.
Worrell, I don't even know who
yeah,
Worrell is.
Like,
if
just
you're
what is
Worrell,
that? You're from the
going
50s.
down.
Yeah, you're going down.
Worrell is just Championship. Is
Yeah.
that ever going to be
Yeah.
Worrell? No. No.
And there's that other guy, I can't remember his name, the dark-haired centre half, but again, a football league player basically. They are conceding goals all over the place, apart from when they play Tottenham. But yeah, I think they'll be happy. I think the little run they've had, last sort of 4 or 5 games, they'll be happy.
One thing I will say on Forest here is they really need to make their home form really count and get and win, beat the teams around them, and make what's the stadium called again?
What's that? Sorry.
What's their stadium called again?
I think it's the City Ground.
City Ground. Make the City Ground a fortress.
Yeah.
Because if they can win the vast majority of their home games or get points and even pick up the odd 3, but they could beat a Chelsea there or make an upset
exactly what I said.
They beat West Ham there.
The last 5 they've done. They got beat by Arsenal 5-0 away. Yep, conceding 5 is
best
bad.
team in the league.
But on current form, best team in the league, you can't argue that. It is what it is. But they beat Liverpool at home. They've drawn with Brentford at home, and then they beat Palace at home. So that is exactly what you're saying, is that the teams around them and up and in and around them, they need to get results. That is what their aim is to do.
But that's what I say. If you don't have a goal scorer like a Mitrovic or a Tony, then make sure your home form is good,
exactly,
very good. That's what Brentford set up last year, because their home form was. Then they went on a run of 8 losses on the trot away, but home form win.
Sorted them out,
win.
Yeah.
Make it hard to go. Make it hard to come by. Get the atmosphere up. Where Bolton used to be the best of it. Where only night at Stoke. No one likes going there.
No.
But remember, the perfect example is Arsenal versus Stoke in the Premier League. We had a horrific record against them at Stoke's ground.
Yeah.
Emirates 100% win rate.
Yeah.
But it was every year. It doesn't matter where Delap's throws didn't even exist at the Emirates. We wiped the floor of them.
Yeah.
Went there and we were shambolic.
Struggled. Yeah.
And that's what Forest, I think, will be that sort of team.
If they want to stay up,
there's no way
they have to,
Arsenal will go to the City Ground and win 5-0.
No.
Because they just roll over like that. There's no way that Forest go to Anfield and win 1-0.
No.
That's the.
Yeah, they've got to, and I'm sure Steve Cooper is more aware than anyone about that. But
and I think Forest, a handful of teams have that ability to make that ground really unpleasant. So I don't know. I'm going to run through them. I don't think Brighton have that ability to do that.
Southampton, no way.
Southampton, no. Leicester, maybe not. Bournemouth, no. But a club like
Palace,
Villa do. Palace do.
Brentford
Leeds
did last year, didn't they?
Leeds do. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's I don't think they'll be. They're obviously buzzing. They're back in the Prem. They just want to stay in the Prem. So the little spurt they've had recently is good for them, I think. But 2 below them, Southampton, Wolves.
Have been diabolical.
Yeah, shocking. It's a massive
2
task.
established Premier League clubs have been Who's the biggest surprise out of these two for you?
I would say Wolves. I think
Yeah, I'd agree.
maybe Wolves. I know that everyone looked at it before and they said what they've done. I think they got rid of a couple of players and things changed. But yeah, I'd say Wolves. I think even against Arsenal, they played relatively good football. They're not horrible to look at, and you still think of them being a half decent side, but they just obviously don't know where the goal is. But yeah, Wolves being rock bottom, 10 points is pretty rough.
Lost more games than they have scored goals.
Yeah, yeah. I just got here. It's just a massive task for Lopetegui and Nathan Jones at Southampton. It's just two huge jobs to keep them in the league.
Yeah, it's a big surprise to me, them being down 8 goals scored. Lopetegui takes over after the World Cup. I think that's a bit of a cop-out for him.
It's a random one.
How long have we known he's going to be manageable for? 3 weeks? There's 3 games. That's potentially 9 points, mate. That you just, I'll take over for the World Cup.
Strange one, because his CV's incredible. I think he's Spain's national coach, Sevilla and things like that. So he's been at some of the biggest clubs, biggest jobs in the world, but it's so bizarre. He's now currently in charge of the team that's 20th in the Premier League. It's very strange.
He was at Molineux on Saturday night. Why on earth is he not in the dugout?
Yeah.
Like, I get it if you've been taken over on that Friday and you want to have... But you've been taken... We've known about this for at least 2 podcasts. Oh, why are you not just doing your job you're getting paid for?
But then, like we said, Everton, they got Wolves on the 26th. Southampton play Brighton when they return 26th.
Southampton, Nathan Jones, he was a perfect example. Took over, got the job, played straight away at Anfield.
Yeah.
3-1, not the end of the world.
No. I think Alisson had a good game. He made some good saves, and obviously they got a goal. I didn't really take much notice of it. Liverpool won 3-1, so he didn't really look into it. But obviously for him, Nathan Jones, that is what his first game, Liverpool away. That's not what he's there for. Like we were saying about Forest, home form is where they'll hope. Well, for them, their sake, they'll stay up. But yeah, they're right down there, and they're down there for a reason. They've just been awful, haven't they? Like if you look here, last 5, 1-1, lost 3, drawn 1. So
I think Southampton will get out of it. I think.
I don't know. It's a strange one. It's so bizarre. Weird bottom 3.
I'm not really sure. I can't picture what Lopeteguy's going to do. He's got the same sort of aura for me that Unai Emery has, but has he got the fight to get? He's got no Premier League experience. I know it's early days, and they say, "Oh, it's Christmas, or it's Christmas, quote unquote Christmas." Isn't there only 2 teams that have ever been stayed up at bottom of Christmas? I think it's 2 or 3 maybe have stayed up. So he's got an almighty fight on his hands. Yeah,
it's I just keep saying it's very hard and it's very, very difficult. And we don't know much about Lopetegui really, and we don't know much about Nathan Jones at Southampton. I just think Southampton's squad and obviously Wolves' squad at the minute is just all over the place, isn't it? They're just nothing good.
Wolves play Everton on Boxing Day. If Everton win that, they go 7 clear of Wolves. That's a big gap.
And like I said, Everton are 17th, so yeah, I think I'd say that's the league really. I mean, it's
pretty much
sums it all up.
Sums it all up really. I hope they haven't bored you too much on that.
Yeah, I mean, like we said about the mid-table, it's not. I mean, there's obviously if you support those teams, you can go into it and talk about here and there, but yeah, there's not much you can say about them. The bottom, I'd say, like we said, 14th down is a big relegation fight in the new year.
A quick one for you before we go into a quick break. Off the top of your head, your biggest flop and your biggest surprise out of the 20 so far in the opening 15/14 games.
Just team or players or
team,
whatever, yeah.
Team.
Our biggest flop, team-wise. Biggest flop. I'm
going to put your Mighty Hammers down there?
No.
Dig them out one more time before Christmas?
No, I'll let them have Christmas off. Biggest flop team-wise, I will go with... I'll go with Wolves. It's obvious they're sitting 20th, but
yeah,
I just wouldn't expect
100% agree with you. They're probably one of the... Well, not one of the last teams, but... Yeah.
They're just, for recent times, they've just been solid little 12th to sort of 15th, creeping into the top half. Like, I just wouldn't expect them to be there.
Got in Europe once, didn't they, under Nuno?
Yeah, exactly. Very...
And biggest overachievers?
Newcastle, definitely.
Are you more surprised Newcastle are third, then Arsenal are top.
Oh yeah, true. No, I would say.
Or Fulham in ninth. That blows my mind.
No, I'd say what Newcastle are doing at the minute. Yeah, I'd say I mean, yes, Arsenal being top, that is quite incredible, and no one would have said that. No one would have predicted that. But I think Newcastle sitting in third. Yes, people saying they've spent money, but if you actually look at the squad, they haven't gone and bought Ronaldo, Messi, and Mbappe like everyone thought they would. Do you know what I mean? Like they've still got Chris Wood starting up front. They've still got Dan Burn and Longstaff playing in the middle. So yeah, I'd go for Newcastle. What about yourself?
I would agree with you on Wolves. They have been horrific.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll go with Fulham. Sitting in ninth, I didn't think they would be in ninth whatsoever. And they're 2 points below Chelsea, 3 below Liverpool, and they've just had back-to-back defeats against City and United by two 95th and 94th minute goals. That I do think the goalkeeper should have done better with both of them. They also conceded an 89th minute winner against Arsenal, another one the goalkeeper should have done better with. They've played Liverpool, they've played Spurs, they've played
both Manchester clubs.
Yeah, they've played a lot of teams. They've played Newcastle. They've lost to every single one of them teams apart from Liverpool, but they're still ninth, and they're still only a point. Like they're picking up points against the teams that are below them, basically, and that's keeping them in really good stead. Mitrovic has been superb. And I've been really impressed of how they've handled this season. Because normally Fulham, like the joke is, Fulham up, Norwich down, and vice versa. Yeah. And for me, Fulham aren't going down.
No, I think they're looking all right. Like I said, when Mitrovic plays well, they're at home, for example, like we keep saying about Forest and Southampton. Fulham at home look a good side. Yes, they lost at the weekend, but yeah, with their best team they got, they look a very tough team.
Yeah. I think that ends that segment nicely.
Yeah, I think so. Do you want to have a little break?
Yeah, we'll have a break and we'll be back with the next part. Right, here we go. Team of the week time. The final team of the week before the Christmas break. So we obviously watched the evening games in the pub, and that's where we're going to start with our man between the sticks. We had, me and Jack were torn between Ramsdale or Pope, two English goalkeepers who have kept 6 and 7 clean sheets respectively. But we actually thought, in terms of performance, Ramsdale obviously kept a clean sheet, didn't do anything apart from one Wolves fans up.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I don't think he made a save to make.
Yeah.
Whereas Pope was pretty good and made some great saves, and it's continued Newcastle's superb run.
I think Pope had a good game. I think he made 1 or 2 good saves. Chelsea weren't brilliant, didn't offer a lot going forward, but yeah, I think Ramsdale's
could count himself unlucky not to be in.
It's been part of Arsenal's success and why they're doing well. But like we're saying, he hasn't actually necessarily made loads of saves. So yeah, Pope. Alisson had a good game for Liverpool as well. But Pope goes between the sticks. And we'll start with talking about Liverpool first defender, Robertson.
Yes, like I mentioned earlier, Robertson became the all-time leading assist maker? Taker? Assist?
Just roll with it, yeah. That was
assist maker.
Goal maker.
As a defender in the Premier League, 53, beating Leighton Baines. 2 great assists for I think the first one was for Firmino, and then for Nunes. And just a real solid display.
It was good.
I think he was touch and go whether to be in the team last year, because I think last week against Spurs he played really well. And yes, he's on good form at the moment.
Yeah, and next to him we've put in Dan Burn.
Big Dan Burn.
Yeah, the monster Dan Burn with 4 fingers. So yeah, I just quite like him. I think Tottenham should have got him months ago, but just an absolute man mountain. And again, similar to Pope, massive reason why Newcastle have been so good. And really, Dan Burn's in there because I don't know what point of the game was, but I sent the video to Tate and he just absolutely cleaned one of the Chelsea players out. The ball went out of the stadium, I think. So yeah,
but that epitomises.
Can support that.
that epitomises that back four at Newcastle, doesn't it?
They're just defenders. They are there. We are going to kick, head, tackle, boot the ball away. We are not going to concede.
Thou shalt not pass.
Yeah. So Robertson, Byrne at the back.
And then into the midfield. I'll start with the Arsenal captain, leader legend, Martin Odegaard. Got his 5th and 6th goal at the weekend. Started the season really, really well. I think it's maybe the second time he's been put on the squad, or first time in our team of the week. Another 2 goals away from home. Just an all-round classy display, really. He really stepped up in the absence of Xhaka. When he went off, it was a real captain's performance from him. 2 goals at very important time, and just the way he controls the ball and just dictates the game really all the time. All our good play goes through him, and when Arsenal play well, it's Anthony. When Arsenal play well, he plays really well. Everything goes through him really. Yeah.
Next to him, we've put in Bentancur. He scored his 3rd and 4th goal of the season at the weekend, and he just is a quality player. When you watch him and you see him, you'll hopefully will get onto the World Cup. But you'll see in the World Cup that he's just a brilliant player. Just good game at the weekend, and like similar to Odegaard for Arsenal. But when Tottenham do something well or perform well, it's usually because he's had a good game. And he's in the most important part of the pitch. So Bentancur and Odegaard.
And them 2 players are the reason that those 2 North London teams got 3 points the weekend.
Exactly.
And then finally, our striker went down to the fans' vote between Ivan Toney, Danny Ings again. He's been a regular in these votes.
What else? And you're about to say Núñez, but all scored twice at the weekend, didn't they?
Darwin Núñez. Who would you have picked?
I think I voted Danny Ings. Only because Villa away, they've been awful. I thought I'd vote Danny Ings. But because I don't think Toney was bad. He had a good game, but obviously scored twice. But I don't necessarily think he was that good. Maybe Núñez was better, I don't know. But
I went for Toney just because 2 goals away at Man City.
Yeah, and obviously the week of not
he
getting
should have had a hat-trick,
squad.
though. Quite easily should have had a hat-trick.
Yeah.
But no, for Toney. And the fans went Toney, I think, 86% in the end.
He was good.
So no, thank you
2
for everyone who voted. Just to round that out quickly, you got Nick Pope in goal, Andy Robertson, Dan Byrne in defence, Martin Odegaard, is it Rodrigo Bentancur, and Ivan Toney up front.
Very good.
Right, shall we move on to the winner and loser of the week?
Do you want to start, winner or loser?
Winner I'll go for. I've actually gone for a club. I hope we haven't gone for the same thing.
You might have gone.
I've gone for Newcastle United.
No way. Yeah, go on.
So have you?
Yeah. Newcastle United.
I've gone winner Newcastle United. I've gone for going 3rd just before the World Cup. Going into the World Cup, going 3rd. Next round of the Carling Cup and beating Chelsea. And then that's quite a good week.
Yeah, and basically similar thing, but won 5 out of 5. Unbeaten in 10 games. I think in the top 5 leagues across Europe, I think there's a few teams that have won 5 in a row, but it's likes of Newcastle, Bayern Munich. I think Barcelona have done it, and some others. But Newcastle's name's now again up with the top sides across the world, really. But just they've had a good week. They've had a good start to the season, but it's quickly like Howe's revived players such as Amron, Chris Wood, Joe Linton, and the place. I don't know if you've seen the videos going around, but St James Park and Newcastle.
How good is that song?
Yeah, moving all around. I've got it here, as in I've wrote it down, but. Yeah, the place is absolutely buzzing. I've seen a few videos of a Geordie DJ by the name of, I'm going to go Shaq. You may have heard of him, you may not, but I think he put himself outside the ground at Chelsea and had done a little set, and he had a song, his song he's brought out in the summer, Moving All Around, is just absolutely blown up, and it does go off, to be fair. So, I think the excitement, there's a real buzz. The team is doing far better than I'm sure any of them expected, and I think they've been brilliant. And it's real. It's at the moment, like I said, it's quite good to see, but I'm sure in a year or 2, when they're battering us home and away, it probably won't be good.
You'll get bored of it. Yeah, that's superb. I've got the same winner.
Yeah.
Loser. So I've got one football related, and I think we have another joint.
Should we mention him
non-football related?
If you are listening, Tom Collins,
yes.
This one's for you.
Tom Collins. So Tom joined us at the pub on Saturday night and sheepishly said to Jack, "What a day I've had. What a day I've had." And this story was started somewhere and ended somewhere.
It
just kept going.
Just kept getting worse and worse.
So should we tell the story?
Brief. We'll do a brief synopsis.
So Tom got pulled over by an unmarked police officer about 10 yards from his house.
Yeah.
Officer then informed Tom that he had no car insurance and has been driving his car for 2 months with no car insurance. Fined him, took his car away from him.
Told him to walk home.
To walk home the 10 yards. He then drove his car off into a lockup to be taken away. He then has to pay for his car to be released from said lockup.
Pay for insurance.
Pay for his insurance. On arriving to get his car from the gym, from the car park, as he went out in London the night before, he came to his car for car parking fine. Had to pay his car parking fine. And after the night out, he left his jacket in bootmaker and has lost his jacket.
That is definitely loser of the week. But like you said, I've got football related stuff. But Tom Collins,
over £550 and fines in one day, I think he said.
Shocker. And then still hasn't got his car
and
back.
6 points in his license.
Yeah. Don't forget 6 points on the license too. Lucky he didn't get breathalyzed, but he's still ain't got his car back. But yeah, Tom, that one's for you, mate.
Take the L, Tom.
Yeah. I'll start with my loser of the week if that's all right with you. I struggled this week, to be fair, obviously apart from Tom, but football related I struggled. I've gone with Blackburn's goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski. He's a 30-year-old Belgian.
I know where you're going with this.
He's a 30-year-old Belgian, just played in the Belgian Pro League and sort of here, there and everywhere, whatever, a bit of a journeyman. But yeah, it's Burnley, Blackburn at the weekend, so a big derby for the pair. And Ashley Barnes headed home to make it 1-0 to Burnley. As he heads home, he shoves the goalie into the back of the net. He, at full force, obviously his momentum's taken forward.
Underline the word shove as well.
Yeah, he's absolutely launched this little Belgian goalie through the net, basically. He ends up on the floor. Kaminski tumbles into the net. He's on his back. Burnley are 1-0 up. Ashley Barnes wheels away. And yeah, Burnley got to win 3-0. So yeah, Kaminski, for the first goal, is loser of the week.
Yeah, I did see that was very funny, that video. My loser of the week, I might be a bit harsh in saying this, but I'm going to go for it. I'm probably going to attack him anyway. Jadon Sancho, loser of the week. So this guy at Dortmund was meant to be the next big thing. Meant to be England's saviour, England's goal scorer, XYZ. Moved to United, and it just fell under the United curse that most players seem to fall under. £73 million from Dortmund 2 years ago. 58 games for Man United in all comps, and 8 goals. Even if he was fit going into the squad, would anyone have him in the squad? No. Like, he could not be further away from the squad.
Exactly why you're saying him, but he was... At some point, Southgate had him, didn't he? He picked him all the time.
Hasn't played for England since 2021.
Yeah.
With Rashford playing well, they've signed Anthony for £100 million. Apparently, this Garganchu, whatever his name is, is the new Messi.
Yeah.
Where's he playing?
Well, I've not seen him, have you? You haven't not mentioned him. And
what's he good at?
Yeah, with the...
Like, at Man United, he's been absolutely shambolic.
And that's a good one, I like it.
I just think... I don't know, maybe he's struggling with the Premier League pace. Maybe he can't go up and down. Maybe Ten Hag doesn't fancy him. I don't know. Yeah. I just think where the England squad's come out and you've got all these attacking flair players looking at, and he was one at Dortmund everyone was really excited about and couldn't wait to see him.
And he's not even been in anyone's mind, has he?
He's been awful, mate. And yeah, I just thought... I was just thinking about it earlier, and he was just...
Yeah, no, agreed. Good one.
Yeah. Sorry, Jadon. But yeah.
I like it. So, Kaminski and Sancho for loser of the week.
Right, before we close out, let's shoot on back to the teaser.
Or repeat the question.
Repeat the question. James Milner became the 4th player in Premier League history to make 600 appearances. But can you name the current player who has the 2nd highest number of appearances?
I want to go with Jordan Henderson.
Fuck.
Yes! Was it Jordan Henderson?
Yeah.
Get in. I'm a joke.
Very good, that, yeah.
Yeah.
408.
Oh.
Can you name the player who's got 4 less than him sitting in 3rd place?
No, I can't. 400.
Why did you think Jordan Henderson in the first place?
Because I heard it the other day.
Oh, did you? You cheat.
No, it's just information that has been retained in my.
Right.
Who's the other bloke?
Number 3. Come on.
Don't know. I reckon he's a goalkeeper.
No.
No. Okay, I don't know. I'm not gonna
English.
ruin. Harry Kane?
No.
No, it's an awful shout.
He's old.
Oh, he's old. English, old.
He's played for 3-4 Premier League clubs. I'd say 3.
Sterling?
No.
I don't know, mate. I'm gonna keep guessing.
Ashley Young.
Oh, Ashley Young. Yeah.
On 404.
Yep.
The original teaser was going to be, can you name the other 4 players that have played over 600 appearances?
Ben Foster.
No.
No?
No.
Gareth Barry.
Yep, he's number 1.
Ben Foster's not there. Weird.
But I thought that this has been going around in the media too much, it'd be too easy for you. But then you've just made an absolute mockery of Jordan Henderson.
Yeah. Don't know. I don't know. I knew Gareth Barry, but I wouldn't.
Gareth Barry 653, Ryan Giggs 632,
Oh, of course, Giggs, yeah.
and Frank Lampard 609.
Fair enough.
I think that brings an end to the podcast. Thank you for listening. We have a few surprises up our sleeves over the coming days and weeks. So
the World Cup's around the corner.
Please, if you haven't, subscribe, most importantly, so you get the alerts of any new podcasts or any new things that may be happening. YouTube or on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts.
Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. So you get your daily fix of Talking Loyal. And thank you for listening. We may be back quicker
sooner rather than later.
Sooner than later.
No, thanks for listening.
No more Premier League till Boxing Day, so we may have some surprises for you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll leave it at that. Stay loyal.
Stay loyal.